Good morning. I'm ready. Good. Good.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Disconnect audio. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Hello. Hello.
பேசிட்டேன் நான் பேசிட்டேன் ஜாயின் பண்ணிட்டாங்க நான் ரெடின்னு சார் சொல்லிட்டாங்க ஓகே
Hello. 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 Shall we start the program? Good morning, sir. Shall we start?
Good morning.
Shall we start, sir?
Yes.
VC sir? VC sir, are you there? Good morning, sir. Shall we start the program, VC sir?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, please, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Good morning to everyone. Creativity is thinking up new things. Innovation is doing new things. It gives me immense pleasure to extend a very warm welcome to gather here for Impact Lecture Series program on Drive Innovation Through Creativity. I request Varalakshmi to render Tamil Thai Valku.
நீராரும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்த கெழிலொழுகும் சீராரும் வதனமென திகழ் பரத கண்டமிதில் தெக்கணமும் அதிசிறந்த திராவிடன திருநாளும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் நரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அணித்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிரமை திரும்பி அந்த செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
Thank you, Varalakshmi. Before the launch, let me first acknowledge the presence of our eminent chief guest, ML Sai Kumar sir. Welcome, sir. Now, I would like to call Roshni Ilango to formally give the welcome address.
The best way to predict the future is to create it. A pleasant morning, everyone. I'm more than honored to stand here and welcome you all to Lecture Impact Series program. On behalf of the institution, I'm extremely privileged to welcome our chief guest, Professor M.L. Sai Kumar, former Dean, Academics at the Institute of Public Enterprise, Hyderabad, who has been conferred the award of IIT Education by International Biographical Center, Cambridge. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation and gracing this event. I'm more honored to welcome our chairman, Dr. K. Vasudevan, pillar of this institution, vice chairman, Engineer V. Prasanna Venkatesh, who ignited fire among all of us, principal ma'am, Dr. Uma, an extinguished hard worker, and a pleasing welcome to all the coordinators and members of IIC Club and spectators joining us today. I ensure you all will be benefited from this program and will definitely take some learnings home today. Thank you.
Thank you, Roshni, for your earnest welcome address. Now, I'm very glad to invite our Vice Chairman, Engineer V. Prasanna Venkatesh, to address few words.
Sir, good morning, sir. Professor Sai Kumar, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Very good morning, sir. It is a pleasure for me to actually be in this event today. So, on behalf of Prince Sri Venkateswara Arts and Science College and the Institution Innovation Council, our central government as well, our Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji. So, it is my pleasure to actually welcome Professor M.L. Sai Kumar, a very eminent professor and trainer in the field of faculty and student development. See, it's a very rare combination, you know, like either people are very well versed in student development, student training, or faculty and faculty training and development. But here we have a very rare combination and a very eminent and experienced personality, Professor M.L. Sai Kumar, and he's going to guide you in terms of driving innovation through creativity. Creativity is a huge space in terms of our current younger generation. Creativity is what is going to solve India's lot of problems, is going to help us surge ahead in the future for our nation as well. And so it is very, very impressive to be part of the IIC. You know, it's very new for us as well. And I'm glad that our IIC team, President Subhashini, conveners, and our own beloved principal, madam, who has been a prominent person in terms of launching the IIC as well, for these kind of events, which nourish the younger generation so that they can help us have a sustainable and amazing future. And of course, the chairman, Dr. K. Vasudevan, has been an instrumental force in terms of creating these kinds of educational institutions and thereby helping the youth focus in gaining their knowledge and helping the society as well. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity for being part of this event. I look forward to the lecture by Professor M.L. Sai Kumar. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. That was indeed motivating and extremely informative. We are so honored and privileged to have you among us. Thank you, sir. Now, I'd like to welcome Dr. K. Sabina, convener, Impact Lecture Series coordinator, to deliver the speech about IIC.
A very good morning to one and all present here. The institution's Innovation Council of Prince Sri Venkateswara Arts and Science College, Gaurivakam, Chennai, Tamil Nadu, is proud to organize an Impact Lecture Series program under the funding assistance of Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell. IIC of our college was established in the IIC calendar year 2020-21, and since then we have been conducting various innovation and entrepreneurship related activities to nurture our students with new ideas and transform them into innovators and entrepreneurs. Today we are on the second day of this Impact Lecture Series. The themes of Impact session include innovation, entrepreneurship, startup, and IPR. In today's session, we have two lectures. In the morning session, we have with us Professor M.L. Sai Kumar sir. Sir will be enlightening us on the topic Drive Innovation Through Creativity. And in the afternoon session, we will be having Mrs. Kavita Kartikeyan from Prince Sri Venkateswara Padmavati Engineering College. And ma'am will be sharing her ideas on the topic Startup, a journey from ideation to marketization. Today's resource person is an expert trainer and he has only one passion, the rise of great youth. I am sure that the students and faculty are going to get motivated by his talk and it will help us in nurturing innovative thought process and entrepreneurial mindset. I take this opportunity to acknowledge the financial assistance provided by MIC and AICTE in conducting this Impact Lecture series. I hope this is going to be a grand success and I wish this will really make an impact in the young minds. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. That was so informative. Now, I would like to call Bhanupriya to introduce our resource person.
Good evening, one and all present here. I'm honored to introduce our chief guest, Professor M.L. Sai Kumar, former Dean, Institute of Public Enterprise, Hyderabad. He has been conferred the award of International Man of the Year for IT education by the International Biographical Center. He served as a professor of computer science. He was awarded the Inspiring Teacher Award by Teachers Academy in 2010. He served as chairman, vice chairman, PG program director, and secretary CSI. He also received the Sevaratna Award and the Engineering Sevaratna Award. He has been a visiting professor for several universities. He has co-authored 4 textbooks and published several papers. He has conducted about 300 plus training programs to the corporate sector related to IT, management, soft skills, etc. Professor also served as a member on technical committee for TTD, SPH, IICT, NRSA, AP Technology Services, etc. He was a member of the CSI Nehalem National Level E-Governor Awards assessment team for 15 years. He has organized more than 15 conferences at national and international level and brought out the proceedings. Government of India has adjudged him as the best trainer for training several batches of IAS and IPS students. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Bhanupriya. Now, this amazing session will be taken over by our resource person, Professor M.L. Sai Kumar, sir.
Yeah. Honorable Chairman, Vice Chairman, Principal, Heads of Departments, esteemed faculty, and my dear students. A very good morning to all of you. It gives me immense pleasure to share my knowledge and experience with the young professionals, both teachers and students. I'm a strong believer in the youth of this country. Each one of you are capable of reaching greater heights in life. Believe me, trust me, it's possible. Also, let me tell you, there is no unemployment problem. Unemployability is becoming a problem, not unemployment. Believe me, trust me, it's possible. The another thing, I resigned my job in 2014 to take up this service to the society, basically aiming at students and faculty. And last 7.5 years, I've been going around the colleges assisting students and faculty. And when I go to the college, people give me their college brochure. And when I just flip through the brochure, it says, we have 80% placements, 90% placements, 95% placements. You know, not to they claim even 100% placements. But I'm yet to see a brochure which says 5% of students rejected campus recruitment. They have gone as an entrepreneur. This is what I'm waiting for today. Can your college students and faculty take up the challenge? I'm not saying tomorrow morning, over the next 5 years. Can you say at least 5% of students are rejecting the recruitments and they're setting up their own business? Come with some innovative ideas and set up entrepreneurship. That's what the need of the hour. No more, don't produce any more employment seekers. We need to focus on employment creators. Employment generators is what the need of the hour is. That's what the government of India is pushing through hard to say we need more and more entrepreneurs to come forward and start their activities. Because government alone cannot generate so many jobs and there's a limitation. So hence people have to come forward. My lecture today is not only informational, it's going to be transformational. You'll have find some change in your thinking process. I can assure you that. The idea of infusing entrepreneurship into education has spurred the need for enthusiasm for the last decade. Almost a decade, we have been pushing this idea of entrepreneurship. There's a need to take up these activities, and we have been conducting. In fact, the live classroom, we would have done some activities also, but in a webinar, yes, we just do lecturing. Otherwise, it involves a lot of activities and all that we do it as part of this. My dear friends, you need to have imagination to impact you need to create on the society. Are we able to think beyond the textbooks, think beyond the syllabus, explore, experiment it, experience it, exploit for your benefit, and move towards excellence is the need of the hour. Explore things. There's so many things you need to learn much beyond the textbook, much beyond the syllabus, much beyond the classroom. Are we looking at it? Is an area where you look at it. One of the complaints people talk about is, it's only complaint they talk about it. I don't think it's really true. Lack of time and resources, facilities, fear of failure, fear of commercialism. And these are some things people have got fears, let me tell you. There is no need to worry about it. Don't worry about failures. Failure is a stepping stone for success. One of the scientists said, I will never say I failed 1,000 times. I discovered 1,000 ways that can cause failure. Thomas Alva Edison said it. So don't worry about failure. Failure is part of the life. And you need to overcome the difficulties. One of the challenges, you need to have a clarity of thought is very, very important. My dear friends, focus on developing thinking skills. Focus on analyzing skills. Analytical ability is very, very important. You need to focus on these kind of things you need to focus on. And so these are the challenges to mold yourself as an entrepreneur, is what you look at it. Practitioners have encountered when trying to infuse the entrepreneurship into education. There are difficulties we are finding it including education, because somehow the entire system of education is more focused on examination orientation, but not education orientation. People are just running for marks. It's not the marks. Do we have the depth of understanding subjects is what is very, very important. Let me tell you, I sit on several recruitment boards, both in public and private sectors. When you're recruiting fresh graduates coming out of the colleges, majority of them would like to go and work for multinational companies. Good, nothing wrong in that, yes. And unlike our generation, your generation is KG to PG English, that is LKG to post graduation, you're all English here. Then why you're not able to communicate English properly? This is one of the challenges we face. The second problem we are facing is when we're asking some basics of the subjects, what they studied in their undergraduate program, they're not able to answer it. These are the challenges. So that's why don't make everything examination, make it educational. To study any textbook or a reference book or a material, you need to have 4 sides. You need to have a sight, you need to have insight to read in between the lines, a lot of hidden meaning. Is it? You need to have a hindsight, recall your past knowledge and experience, and you need to have foresight to see what kind of things are required for tomorrow. You need to focus on. That's what we're talking about it. More than 95% of business leaders get it wrong when asked what they think create culture of innovation. Let me tell you, people still have the confusion. What is it creation return? Fortunately, research in the field of innovation provides clear guidelines on what actually work for creating a culture where creativity thrives. Go back to childhood. Curiosity known to the best teacher. Develop that curiosity in the minds is very, very important. Learn to more, go depth in the subjects, learn more and more. And don't just be happy doing one experiment, whatever this faculty has given it. Can we try out different permutation combinations? And that's where your ideas will start emerging. There are 5 critical behaviors in which to engage yourself if you want to move from student to entrepreneur is what you need to focus on. First and foremost, find the right amount of challenge. You should be willing to take up the challenges. Life is full of challenges. Be ready to face the challenges. Go beyond. Let's say, for example, you're trying for reaching something. There'll be hurdles will be there, but you need to cross those hurdles. Only then you can reach the goal. What you set for yourself is what happens. Take a risk and stop seeing the failure as a dirty word. Willing to take a risk is very, very important. Don't worry about failure. Failure, don't look at it as failure. There's nothing wrong in failure. In fact, failure is not a crime. I don't know how many of you are aware. In sports and games, we don't use the word failure. We say winner and runner. That means the person who could not make it put a little more extra effort to reach the goal. What you set for yourself is what it is. So don't use the word failure. Failure is not a crime. In fact, there's nothing called you have failed. Your action has failed. Maybe the way path you have taken is wrong. Maybe you have taken the other path. You would have succeeded. That's possible. And experiment before you implement it. Please focus on experimentation. I don't know how many are aware. The new education policy of the government of India talks about is more of thinking skills, not rote learning. So, and do more and more experimentation is what the focus is more on skill building. And the academic institutions will somehow focus on KSA model, that is knowledge, skill, and attitude. Knowledge is important, then we give less important skill and least importance attitude. But if you want to be an industrialist, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you need to have first attitude is very, very important. The next is skill. The practical knowledge is very important. Then we talk about knowledge. That is the difference between happens. So experiment before you implement things. And loosen the reins. Give autonomy to people to talk about it. Take it, listen. Have more arguments. More discussion should happen among the team. Please understand, entrepreneurship is a team performance, not individual. You need to form a team of like-minded people and start working together. You can have a lot of discussion, debates, arguments, nothing wrong with it. Finally, you emerge with an idea which may be possible to implement it. What is the creativity of talking about? If you look at the word creativity, create an activity is creativity. Are we able to create? Make everything activity-based. Make everything experimental learning. And that's in the way to do. Creativity may be defined as idea generation. I think that's next lecture is on idea generation to commercialization or market driven is need to look at it. You need to, ideas has to generate. Ideas are no one's monopoly, let me tell you. Each and every one of you are capable of doing things. It's only, are you willing to put in little extra effort? Being creative is able to generate, to come up with ideas, you need to focus on it. There are so many ways in which you can solve the problems, whatever is coming. Say, for example, let me go back to the school days. You have studied what is called matrix theory. Matrix inversion. I don't know how many of you. There are more than a dozen methods are available. Are we looking at it? Which way I need to do it? Which algorithm is the best? Which methodology is the best? And so I can implement, get the better results. You need to think about it. These are the ways and means you need to think about it. And creativity is the process of coming up with something which did not exist. That kind of methodology, that kind of tool, that kind of technique, or that kind of algorithm doesn't exist. Now we are coming with something new. That's what we're looking at it. Creativity is the process of coming with something that did not exist before. You need to talk about it. Resources are limited. Yes, you name any college, any organization, any state, resources are limited, physical resources, financial resources, all that is limited. But creativity is unlimited. Your imagination is unlimited. Understand this. Resources may be limited, but creativity is unlimited. How much you're able to think about, how much you're able to think beyond is an area where you need to think about it. Technical skills, you need to focus on technical skills. Very, very important. You need to focus on it. And more focus more on experimentation. You need to. And learning gives creativity. When you start learning things, it gives creativity. And creativity leads to thinking will happen. Then the idea generation starts happening. Thinking provides knowledge. When you start thinking on it, it provides more and more depth of knowledge. I'll give you a very simple example. I'm sure at least faculty are online, if not students. What is the difference between afraid and fear? And let me tell you, 99% of people are not able to answer this question. Why? I'll give the answer. Afraid is known, fear is unknown, simple. I'm afraid of my teacher, I'm afraid of my father, no. Fear is only a phobia, that's all what we have. When people see lizard, they scream. Or when they see cockroach, they scream. What they will do? Nothing will do. It's a phobia, you have it. So are we able to think and find the differences between small things? And if you have the knowledge, it makes you great can happen. Now think about another questions coming up. What is the difference between information, knowledge, and wisdom? 3 words, please understand it. We are using these words very commonly. Information, knowledge, and wisdom. To make it a little more simpler, what I'll do is I convert them as fill in the blanks. Information equal to dash power. Knowledge equal to dash power. Wisdom equal to dash power. Can you fill in these 3 blanks? Information equal to dash power, knowledge equal to dash power, wisdom equal to dash power. Information is virtual power. Today we are flooded with information by so many TV channels, so many print media, electronic media, all that is happening. Knowledge is potential power. You have the knowledge, you have the potential to grow, potential to excel. And wisdom is a real power. That's where we look at wise men and women who can advise us. Is what information just no use. When you convert it as knowledge, yes, it has a potential to grow. And when you go further, it is wisdom, and that's a real power where you're able to excel in your life can happen. Creativity is regarded as the key building block for innovation. It's the most important for innovation, my dear friends. The need of the hour is innovation. Innovate or evaporate. Innovate or evaporate. That's the need of the hour. I know as young boys and girls, we talk about dream boy and dream girl. The same way as recruiter, I talk about my dream employee. Do you want to know what the qualities I look for in dream employee? My dream employee is one who's totally committed to the process to the core. That means organization systems and practices you need to implement 100%. My dream employee is one who's totally committed to the process to core, highly innovative in nature, and delivers world-class quality of products and services. World-class, because we're all aiming at global markets. If I sell in the local market, I don't make much money. When I'm able to export to other countries, I make a lot of money, thereby I can pay better salaries to my employees. So my dream employee is one who's highly committed and delivers world-class quality of products and services and highly innovative nature and at unimaginable speed at which you need to do it. Because we're all in a competitive market. Every new products are coming up, new services are coming up. Unlike the olden days, you look at the automobile industry. 50 years back, we had only Ambassador car which survived almost 50 years with no major changes. But today, look at our automobile industry. Every 6 weeks, new model vehicle is launched in the market. For example, look at the telephone. We had dialing system in the olden days, almost 100 years, no major changes. But today, look at your cell phone market. Every 6 weeks, new model is coming into the market. Hence, we are asking for highly innovative nature. Why we are recruiting fresh talent to the companies is you can bring in new ideas, new thought process, new energy you can bring in. That's what we're looking at. Creativity entails a level of originality and novelty that is essential for innovation. Why we are focusing on creativity? Because it brings in new ideas, new thought process, and novelty that is essential for innovation if you want. We are not able to invention. Invention is difficult, but innovation is possible. The young boys and girls can think. Although creativity is a fundamental part of innovation, it is not accurate to interchange these terms. You cannot interchangeably use these words. You can't do that. Sorry. Creativity is regarded as one of the most important life skills you can possess. That's the most important. If you have the creative mindset, you have it, you can easily excel in your life. Both personal and professional life is possibly can do it. Not only can bring creative help you to become better at problem solving, creativity enables you to see things from a different perspective. You can look at it. It's not only solving problems, you're able to think from different, what are the uses of this? Is there any other way in which I can use it? Is there any other way I can improve it? All that ideas will start emerging can happen. Whether it's in your personal life at work or creative thinking allows you to think outside the box. Come up with fresh ideas and strategies, help you to do better with uncertain situations. My dear young friends, please know the only thing certain in life is uncertain. Like all of you realize, suddenly two years back, suddenly the government announced lockdown. We never thought, we never knew that what's going to happen. And suddenly, so please remember the only thing, everything is changing in nature. Like for example, technology is fast changing in nature. Environment is changing in nature. Everything, so we need to change from time to time is very, very important. Some other benefits of creativity include that allows you to express yourself openly and honestly. Once you're the creative thing, you are coming with fresh ideas, new thought process, you can freely express those ideas in the forums. Reduce stress and anxiety. One of the major challenges most of the youth are facing is stress. We go through it. Stress is mental stress. We go through it. That as a result, your health will start affecting and happening. And gives you a sense of purpose. Now, once you're creative in mindset, creativity is there, then you'll achieve a sense of purpose. Yes, I can do something different. I can do something better. I can come up with new ideas. I can design which can have many more functionalities, or I can design a product which can be done with a less cost, all these kind of things. So gives a sense of purpose to you, promotes thinking and problem solving ability also can happen. This will help you to think, and you will start focusing on problem solving ability, analytical abilities you started. These two qualities are important when you want to succeed. Thinking ability and analytical abilities, these two are very important. And this leads to feelings of pride, and when you have these qualities, creative mindset, it leads you to be pride and take pride in doing that and accomplish the things what we are looking for. 10 C's guaranteed of your path to success. 10 C's will guarantee your path to success, whatever you wanted. First and foremost, you need to stand by certain values, core values, human values. This is very, very important to focus on. And the next is you need to have the commitment to achieve excellence. Whatever the activity you did, you need to focus on it. And build the capability to achieve greater things in life. Don't be just happy with what you're achieving it. You need to go several miles in your life, so hence you need to constantly. My dear young friends, you need to constantly update your knowledge. Update or outdate, choice for you to decide. You name any subject, a number of developments are happening. Hence, you need to constantly update it. In fact, your generation, you need to be lifelong learners. Everything is changing. You need to constantly update, keep updating it. It should happen. So build that capability which is required. You need to look at it and build the self-confidence. There's nothing called you can do it. There's nothing called impossible, my dear young friends. I'll tell you one small real life story. There's one boy who was born in Maharashtra, in a district called Latur, in a small tiny village. He born. Their family lives on footpath. And they don't have proper food, proper clothing, proper shelter. We see a lot of people living on footpaths in these cities. And that family had 3 children. And even the food they didn't have properly. They used to collect the food from the function halls. After the function halls, food is thrown out, that food they were collecting it, they were eating. That's the kind of background. In a family of 3 children, one child took interest in studies. He went to the local government school. As you know, government schools are free education. He went there. And he couldn't afford to buy the textbooks, he used to borrow from his classmates. At the end of the 10th class, this boy is a school topper. When a school topper, all of you know, some colleges will give free admission. He went to the other place where to do 11th and 12th standard. There again, he is a topper of that college. Then he told his father, now it's time, I'd like to go to Pune, because Pune is the education hub for Maharashtra. Father said, I don't know, where is that Pune? He's so illiterate, they're all living in the footpaths, they don't have anything idea. And this boy said, no, don't worry, I will go ahead. And generally, you and I ask money from the parents, and his parents can't give him money. There's no money at all. So what he has done is locally worked for 2 months, got some money. With that money, went to Pune. Took a small room because he can't afford a luxury. Took admission in a college. And then this boy, daytime is going to college. Evening is working to earn money because he has to pay the rent and livelihood, everything. And night time is studying his subjects, his degree subjects. And this boy, at the end of the first year, somehow he caught up at civil service exams, IAS exams. Right from the second year, this boy, daytime is going to college, evening is working to earn money, night time, along with the degree subjects, he started preparation for the IAS exams. At the end of the 3rd year, successfully completed his graduation. Then he took a decision next 6 months, because December is the exam. Next 6 months, he wanted to focus on preparations. He left the job, whatever little savings he had, he wanted to manage with that and focus on civil services preparation. This boy cleared IAS exam. Look at it. A person who lives on footpath, no proper clothing, no proper shelter, no proper food. That's the background from which he came. So have the confidence in yourself. Yes, you can do it. It's possible. Establish credibility. People should talk about it. Here is a person, yes, whom I can trust, and he can perform it or she can perform it. And develop creativity is very, very important. You need to focus on it and look for compatibility. As I said, entrepreneurship is a team performance. You need to form a team of people, maybe 3, 4, 5, what are the numbers you wanted. And please ensure all of you have that like-mindedness, not that each one is tracking in a different direction. Then there's no use in it. Compatibility, mindset compatibility is what we're talking about it. And have the courage to say no to placements and take up the entrepreneurship. You need to focus on it. And be self-contentment, whatever the achievements you're doing it, you need to focus on it. And focus on collaborating with the people. Have a mentor from the industry, have a mentor from the alumni who is already working in some industry. Take their help, and so you establish some kind of collaboration and some kind of guidance is there, and you can focus on. These tenses are very, very important. You guarantee to a path to success, whatever it takes tomorrow. In the past, it was knowledge-driven economy. In the past, it was knowledge-driven and manufacturing-driven, and the future is creativity-driven as well. The persons, the organizations that got more creative nature, they'll succeed in capturing more and more business, more and more market share can happen. I have another question coming up at this point. What is the difference between creative thinking and critical thinking? In one of you respond, please. What is the difference between creative thinking and critical thinking? Okay, let me give you the answer. Let us say, principal has called some 4 students and she gave permission saying that, okay, you plan for the annual day function and discuss among your friends and come with the plan, what all activities, what are the performances you have, all that you have got. I know as 4 of you get excited and you go back to the class and announce says, yes, principal has given permission to go ahead with the annual function. Now we can plan the activities. I'm sure when you start discussing the classmates, they come with so many ideas. Just list them on the blackboard. But one more condition principal told is, your cultural program cannot be more than 1 hour. But list is big. What you do is, so start cutting down some of them. Finally, arrive at some 2-3 items which will perform on them. So creative thinking is divergence. Let the ideas come in from different places. Critical thinking is convergence. Finally, from there, pick up those 2-3 which are important, which can be performed. And then within the resources, time constraint is always a problem. So that's how creative thinking is divergence. So many ideas comes in, and critical thinking is convergence. From there, pick up the best and implement it is what we will talk about it. Can you think about 10 different uses of, say, for example, paperclip, jump clip? Can you think about different uses of a paperclip? At least 10 different uses. I don't know how many. There are more than 100 uses are available for the paperclip. Jump clip also we call it. Can you think about some 10 uses? Start this kind of exercise. It will help you start opening up your mind and start exploring the universe can happen. That's the area where you need to talk about. You need to be creative in nature. It's very, very important. You need to focus on it. Can someone respond? What are the 10 uses of paperclip? 10 uses of paperclip. Yeah, one is for the paper, we can do it. Then second, it's very good to think about. So anyway, take this as an assignment and then work on it, then you know. You need to focus on being creative is very, very important. You need to be creative. When a child thinks of an idea, even if it's naughty, it has to be creative in nature. I repeat, when a child thinks of the idea, even if it is naughty and he is being creative, let them explore it, let them experience it. Let's accept failures, encourage these children to do better and better. When a scientist says an idea, he is exercising creativity. When he gets an idea, he is exercising creativity and start from the same way it happens to the students and children also, youth also. Creativity is hence a process or thinking process to exact what you want to create. You need to focus on it. Creativity is creating something out of nothing. Can you create something out of nothing? Something new ideas, something new innovative ideas, you need to focus on it. It's for you to think about it. Having talked about creativity, let me talk about innovation. Innovation, on the other hand, involves implementing new ideas. Innovation involves implementing new ideas. Innovation should be future disruptive of 100% that change should happen. Projections not on existing old assumptions. The old assumptions will not work. There's going to be dramatic changes going to happen, I'm telling you. Over the next, the employment market is going to totally change. Take it from. For example, over the next 5 to 10 years, the banking industry will come down drastically. The reason is banks will go for total automation. Unlike our generation, your generation, mostly you do on mobile phones, smartphones, opening account, closing account, transferring the money, everything you're doing online. So where is the need to open so many branches? They'll start merging the branches. Will happen it. So bank industry recruitment will go down drastically. That jobs will not exist. The another area where I talk about, I'm just giving few examples. There's so many areas. Postal department, our generation used to write letters, whereas your generation use smartphones, social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, I don't know what more you have it, and you're using that. No more writing letters. So in the postal department, recruitment will come down. Now, for example, so many cabs we have today in all the major cities. The day is not very far, even these cabs will disappear because we are going to have in the next 5-10 years driverless cars. Take it from me, it's going to happen. Already, a lot of people are doing it, and almost all state capitals, some work is going on, and people will come with these ideas. They're all in experimental stage, final experimental stage, and the day is not very far to commercialize things that can happen. So even though jobs will, so many of the regular jobs will disappear. Take it from. Hence, you need to focus on future disruptive projections, while existing old assumptions based on experience may not be valid anymore. You need to focus on it. Innovation is putting the idea into practice. Into practice, you need to experiment it. You need to work on it and show it was. While creativity is a thinking process, innovation is a productive process, doing. Creativity is thinking, innovation is doing, as it is. Innovation is a productive process. Innovation adds value to the idea. Creativity is you're just coming with an idea. When you start innovating, you're able to give some idea, some shape to it, some model you're able to build and showcase, yes, this is what it functions. Once that model is applicable and the business people come forward and take that idea and commercialize the whole thing and start production in large scale can happen. So my dear young friends, focus on creativity and innovation and come with new ideas, new thought process, new model building. And if you have great ideas, please go and present these ideas in the leading colleges. Don't just go to small colleges. Go and compete in leading colleges. And mostly the judges come from industry. And then also investors are sitting in the audience. If they find your idea is worth, they immediately catch you. Why not we meet over a cup of coffee? While discussing, they're convinced, they'll say, come on, let's join hands. Tell me how much money is required to start this venture. What is your business plan? All that you talk about. They'll put their money and a partnership, okay, for 40, 60, 60, 40, whatever it is, they'll agree. And so today, money is not a problem. Do you have a great idea which has a commercial value? That means it has a saleable idea. The product can be sold in the market, large quantities. Then they come forward and they put their money. You don't need to worry about money part. All that is possible, you need to know. So innovation adds value to the idea, which otherwise remains a mere idea. Creativity, you may come with a wonderful idea, but unless you design something, develop something, it just remains in the boxes. That's no use down. So which otherwise remains as a mere idea, it's no use. What we need is innovation-led initiatives are required. Innovation-led initiatives required. My dear young friends, arise. All of you know Swami Vivekananda's famous quote, arise, awake, stop not till the goal is reached. For me, arise is different. A-R-I-S-E. A-R-S-E stands for A for applied, R for research, applied research unit, not theoretical, I'm talking about. And innovation for small enterprises. Can you come with some, because small enterprise cannot afford to put money for research. So can you help them to talk about it? Applied research and innovation for small enterprise. Can you come with some ideas, give them ideas, and they will start manufacturing things that happen. Is there any way to look at it? So the secret of innovation is to see what all see, but think what none can think about it. Please understand this word. The secret of innovation is to see what all see, what all able to see it, and what none can think. Can you design and show it to us? Is what we're talking about. That's in the debate. Don't go by like a herd mentality. You need to think differently. And that's where you need to go. And today we all talk about TIDE. For me, TIDE stands for technology innovation. Today, everything is technology today. Development and entrepreneurship. everything is technology, and you need to bring in technology in a big way into the every activity that we're talking about. For example, let's say when we construct a building in the olden days, to dig the foundation, we are employing the manual labor. Today, the JCB comes and digs. To put the roof, we are putting 20, 30 workforce and to carry that material and put the roof. Today, that ready mix comes and immediately just does in 1 hour and goes. So look at the kind of technologies. So technology, innovation, development, and entrepreneurship is what we need to do. Technology is the need of the hour. My dear friends, technology will not replace people, but people who do not technology will be replaced in any organization. Take it from. Say, for example, you are a BCom graduate. You may go and join somewhere as an accountant. You are good at your preparing balance sheet, trial balance, all that ledger postings and so on. But when you go there to an industry, right from day one, you have to operate completely. They are not anymore maintaining manual ledgers. Are you comfortable in using computers for your accounting and balance sheet, trial balance, and so many other things, whatever is required? Hence, focus more on technology when you need focus. The difference between market takers and market makers. Market takers is existing market. I'm also using it. Can I create a new market? Can I create a new product? Is what you need. Explore the unexplored markets is what we talk about. So, market takers to market makers isn't only product innovation, it is also the business model innovation. I'll give an example here. Once a British company, they're into shoe manufacturing, and they recruited some young MBA fellow, and they sent him to Africa. And they said, no, you go and set up a showroom and start selling this because huge potential that nobody is wearing these shoes. So 2 young boys came there. They took a premises, they had done the interior decoration, everything. And finally, the shop was inaugurated showroom of the shoes. And 1 month, 2 months, no sales. The management has called us and what is happening? Why there are no sales? Sir, here nobody wears shoes. So how can we sell this kind of products? They have been called back. They have selected again another 2 people, send them there to Africa. These boys went there and they went around a couple of days going around those places and to see what is happening here, what is that people are wearing and so on. They came back to the showroom. What they said is they put up a banner outside saying that today we are distributing freely the shoes to the people. So as usual in anything free, people come and they took, depending on their leg size, they took the shoes and they started wearing it. And what these people have done is after a week, they informed the headquarters, can you send us further stocks? Here is a huge potential market. And is there a possibility of reduction of some amount of price reduction? Then we can easily push the product. The management and these people give guarantee so much of products we can sell it. And the management is kind enough to agree to reduce the price and start selling. And these people start now selling. That is how you need to create the market. Please note this. And we had CEO Salafino, Chief Executive Officer, and published to call CIO, Chief Information Officer. For me, CIO is Chief Innovation Officer. Now, industries are recruiting Chief Innovation Officers. They are recruiting, it is what's happening. Innovation, sustainability, and networking is the need of the hour. My dear friends, you need to have innovation. You need to have to sustain the thinking process, sustain that curiosity. And that mindset is very, very important. And networking is in the hour. My dear friends, you need to connect with people, connect with the organizations is very, very important. Either networking or not working. Today, the need of the hour is networking is very, very important. You can't be doing alone on your own. You need to have a collection of people collaborating with so many people. You need to do it, then you can succeed. So innovating the innovation is just to focus. You need to look at moving from evolution to revolutionary ideas. Evolving nature, it was in our days when we were students like you, it is more in evolving nature. Slowly it is coming up. Today it is revolutionary nature. Fast changes are happening. Hence you need to move fast. You can't be slow pace anymore. That's not possible. Customers' need is the food for your growth factory. It will give you the lead for business is what I mean. Now, one of the things is food is an essential commodity. Can you come with some better quality, better quantity, better pricing, and better taste? Yes, there's a huge market is available. Are we able to get it? So customer need is a food for your growth factory. It will give you business, it can lead you. Innovation is always need driven. Why I'm saying this is innovation is need driven is, let's say, go around the market, study what are the pain points for the customers. What is the difficulties customers are when using particular technology, particular equipment, particular commodity. Identify what are the kind of things. And that information should bring back and study on it. Can you improve the existing product so the customer finds easy to use your product? That's where we see innovation is always need driven. You need to interact with the customers. You need to interact with the observers and see what are the difficulties they have. That is how the developments happens. Necessity is the mother of invention and innovation. There's a need for it. People feel there's a realize that why can't they serve this, why can't they serve that, why can't they serve, and all that is happening. Now, to implement it, you need to follow PDCSI. Plan, do, check, and act. You plan activity, design it, develop the product, and check in the market. Is it really possible? Is it acceptable to the product? Take the feedback. What is the feedback they have it? Maybe come back and refine it further. Now you can go and market in large scale and you can make profits. It can happen. Agility, stability is what two words are very, very important. Agility is to ability to change quickly. You need to change fast. You can't be running the same old things. You need to fast. And stability is evolve your standard operating procedures in the organization. You need to focus on. Change in terms of 5 pieces are very, very important. First and foremost, you need to look at the price reduction. Is there a way can I reduce the price of my product so that I can increase my sales? How best I can reduce it? Is there any way can I use different material whereby I can bring down the cost? Is there a way can I use technology where I can do more production with the same this thing? That kind of pricing you need to work at it. Second is what kind of product I'm designing. What kind of shape, size, color, all that, talk about it. And what is the kind of process I'm following? It is reaching the market on time to the market. If you delay in reaching the market, you lose the customer base is going to happen. And you need to have promotion of the product is very, very important. You need to, that's where, when new product launch, people use samples to us. So you need to do that. And finally, people is very, these 5 pieces are very, very important. Price, product, process, promotion, people are very, very important in looking at it. My dear young friends, curiosity to creativity, innovation is what you need. First, have that curiosity in mind. I'll tell you a very simple formula. Develop the habit of questioning everything. The more the questions you raise, you will get the answers, if not today, tomorrow. Are we questioning it? It is very, very important. It is said in Sanskrit, Prashnena, Prati Prashnena, Abha Prashnena, Abhi Prashnen. Not only questioning, counter questioning also. Don't be afraid, just stand up and ask questions. And all questions you must ask. If you don't ask, you are the losers. It's going to happen. So creativity and innovation are at the heart of human evolution. The human evolution, how the way human evolution has been done is based on creativity. Throughout the history, some people, communities, and more recently companies have been more innovative and creative than others. If you look at the present, what is happening is, throughout the history, people at communities, more recently, companies have been more innovative. They are bringing new products, new services, improved products are less cost, more features, more functionality, and creative than what it was earlier. People talking about it. During Industrial Revolution, Thomas Edison, James Watt, Alexander Graham Bell, and all these people shaped the world we are currently living in. They have done it, we are living it. But more recently, Richard Branson, Steve Jobs, and these people came with new ideas, new thought process, new technology, and which are currently evolving in nature is happening. So we need continuously evolution of products, new products has to come in. We can't be running the same old thing should happen it. You need to focus on it. Every great historical change began with waves of innovations. A lot of people come with some ideas. Finally, one of the ideas may click and yes, be implemented. Don't think every day is viable. Market may not be ready or market is ready. Your pricing may be different. All the issues you need to address. These waves not only lead to massive wealth creation. Once you catch those waves, it goes through massive wealth creation can happen in it. And have transformed the quality of our lives and work. It helps in transforming our lives. This is what's going to happen. And today, many executives firmly believe that innovation is central for a company's strategy and performance. And resilience, but getting it right is a complex thing. Most of the top executives of the companies, they still strongly believe innovation is a central part of the organization's success. You look at it. Hence, I don't know how many of you are aware, we do celebrate, like all of you know, Children's Day, Teachers Day, and so on. There's also a day called Creativity and Innovation Day. World Creativity Innovation Day is recognized globally on the 21st of April annually. People are doing all over the world. World Creativity and Innovation Day is organized globally on the 21st of April every year. The international celebrations invites individuals to let go of their imagination and use fresh concepts to make the world a better place than we are currently living in. The basic objective of doing this day is to create an awareness, let the people come with new ideas and present it. Is what we do. Creativity and innovations are essential for economic growth of any country because we have to prosper, we have to reach higher end. Creative innovation are essential for economic growth, wealth, and a clean, worth living planet on the earth. We want a clean planet. One of the major challenges we are facing is pollutions in all major cities. Easily we can think about some innovative idea which can help us to bring down the pollution, which can help us to bring down air pollution, water pollution, noise pollution. Can you think about it? World Creativity and Innovation Day is well positioned to encourage creative multidisciplinary thinking to help us achieve the sustainable future what we are looking at. That is the very objective of doing Creativity and Innovation Day. The idea is well positioned to encourage creative multidisciplinary thinking. The another point I'd like to bring in here is today everything is multidisciplinary. For example, look at cell phone. Do you know how many technologies are integrated? To begin with, there's a plastic technology, there's electrical engineering, electronics engineering, communication engineering, metallurgy. So many branches combined forms a device called cell phone. So need to look for a multidisciplinary approach. That's what NEP 2020 also talks about, a multidisciplinary approach, not unidisciplinary. You need to integrate in your college. Let's say there's a BSc, there's a BCom, there's a BCA. Why do people join from different streams together to form a team? If you really want to come with an innovative idea, you need to have people from different streams. You need to have it. So World Creativity and Innovation Day is well positioned to encourage creative multidisciplinary thinking to help us achieve this sustainable future. What we're looking at for the future, what we're looking at it, we need to have that issue to focus. Creativity and innovation as both the individual and the group levels you need to focus. As individual, it should be creative and innovative, and group level also we need to have it. It's very, very important. Have become the true wealth of nations in the 21st century is what we need. Hence, I'm glad your college has taken up and the government has taken up today Institutions Innovation Council. You need to focus on innovations. I repeat again, creative innovation as both individual and group level have become true wealth of the nations in the 21st century. I must compliment and congratulate your college to think about on these lines. The creative economy is highly transformative sector in the world economy in terms of income generation, job creation, export earnings. We need to think about export market. That's where we can earn in dollars and we can pay better salaries to our employees. If I sell in the local market, I don't make much profits, then I'm able to pay better salaries. So the creative economy is highly transformative sector of the world economy in terms of income generation, job creation, and export earnings is what we're looking at. What are the drivers for innovation? Before I move one step further, any idea who is the first women truck driver in the country? She has driven more than 10 lakh kilometers right from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. How daring she is. She is big truck she is driving. If there's somewhere on the way some tire punch, not she replaces on her own. She does everything. Please go and check. Please watch her videos. Yogita is her name. She is the first woman truck driver. Normally it's a male dominated, and she went ahead and she did. And she educated her children, everything. She lost her husband in an accident. And she took the responsibility and she educated her children. Now daughter is working for IT industry and son is still studying degree final year, and tomorrow he may also get employed. And after that, she says, now I'll relax. So look at people, how daringly people are moving to new areas, unexplored markets, unexplored opportunities. And that's the mindset which is required in the body. Drivers for it, first and foremost is financial pressures to reduce cost. There's a pressure on the market to bring down the cost. Can you make it affordable? I don't know how many of you are aware. When the cell phone was launched, the incoming call, we were paying 17 rupees per minute. Outgoing call, we were paying 24 rupees per minute. Today, in incoming call, you don't pay anything. Outgoing call, look at what cost we're paying it. So there's a financial pressure to reduce the cost and increase efficiency. This is the pressure. This is one thing which is driving for innovation. One thing, there are other factors I'm going to talk about it. Need for increased efficiency and produce more efficiently is what, then only you can think about reducing the cost. We have to look at ways and means of bringing down the cost. And so market is more and you can sell more and it reaches the people also. So need for increased efficiency and produce more efficiently. So the first one is financial pressures to reduce costs. The second one is increase the competition. Today market, everything is competition. So for example, cell phone, there's so many cell phone companies are there marketing. Your pen, so many companies are there. So there is so much pressure. Increase competition. You name any product, there's competition. So many players are there in the market. For example, you want to buy a laptop, so many manufacturers are there. You want to buy a refrigerator, so many manufacturers are there. So there's increased competition. Try and maintain market share. You need to try and capture the market share. Not only capturing, retaining is very, very important. And retain price competitiveness is very, very, you can't sell to higher price because other players are there in the market. These things, increased competition is driver for innovation because you have to think of ways and means of reducing cost, increase the product, how best you can capture the market. All this has to happen. The third one is shorter product life cycles. The product which today maybe say latest technology I developed and today just entered the market. But life is so short, by tomorrow it's outdated. This is what's happening. As I told you earlier, example of Ambassador car, which served for 50 long years, no major changes. But today look at it. And people say, oh, this cell phone is very outdated here. What is this? You just bought 1 year back and you see are outdated. So this is what is happening. Shorter product life cycle is happening. Customers like changing in products. Today, customers want, there are people I know, some of the youth, they change their cell phones every 6 months. I really don't know how much of features and functionality they use it. This cell phone has got so many features, so many functions. How much we are using? Maybe hardly 10%, 20%, 30%, maximum 50% of the functionality what we used. Even 50%, but still people go and buy the latest one. Maybe crazy, maybe fancy, maybe they have black pen. I don't know what makes them. So shorter product life cycles. Consumers like changing products. And today people are more focusing on use and throw. Unlike in the old Indians where you used to buy and it used to be there with us lifelong. Today, no, people doesn't have it. They want to use and throw and get the new one. Furniture, once we get it done and is there lifelong. Today, no, people want to change it. Every 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, they just remove it and get the new furniture that's happening. The fourth one is stricter regulations. The government is enforcing regulations, local authorities, state level, central level, they're doing is what government and agencies are constantly monitoring industry for good practices. What kind of materials and what kind of practices and what kind of standards are following, all the government regulations are there. And meet the higher standards. You need to focus more and more higher standards. Do you know when a product is quality? When do you say product of quality? If it can meet my explicit requirements and also the implicit ones. If a product is of high quality, people are prepared to pay higher price. There's a beautiful Sanskrit quote. Vastur mulyam pramanena sevena samayena vastur amulyam. The product is worth price. Becomes price. That means people are prepared to pay any price. Pramanena. Does it meet standards? National standards, global standards, international standards. Sevena is a service readily available to you at any time of the day or even at any time of the 24 hours. Samayena. What kind of time at which you can offer? Vastur Mulyam, Pramanena, Sevena, Samayena, Vastur Amulyam. People are prepared to pay the price what you wanted. So there's a government regulations constantly monitoring industry for good practices and meet higher and higher standards you need to meet. The fifth one it says is pressure for sustainable development. What are the products you're launching? You need to make them environment friendly. One of the challenges today we are all facing is e-waste, electronic waste. You can't just throw them. There's a lot of radiation effects are there. There is a process, you need to follow it and do that. Make the technology, whatever coming up, environment friendly. Products should be recyclable. You need to recycle those products, is what we're looking at. And social responsibility, we need to, we can't just throw the garbage wherever it wants. So one of the major challenges we're all facing is plastic. It's creating a lot of problems. So pressure for sustainable development, because we want to live for another 100 years, 200 years, and not only me, my next generation, my grandchildren, great grandchildren, everybody has to live peacefully. Hence, you need to look at technology which will be environment friendly. Products should be recyclable. You should be able to take it back and recycle it and commit new product. And we need to be socially responsible, is what talk about. And the sixth one it talks about is increased demand for accountability. We are all accountable. We are all responsible. It should be careful about the disposal of waste. Let's say chemical factories, pharma industry. There's so much of chemical waste comes. They can't just go and leave it in some tanks or lakes or a sea. No, not that. They are supposed to treat it fully. Only then water can release outside. There's some people who just dig a borewell and then let the waste go into the earth. The groundwater will get polluted. So increased demand for accountability. People are asking for accountability. It should be careful about disposal of waste, how we are disposing of. Should not pollute the air, water, and land, whatever you're doing. Should be transparent. What are the mechanisms you're following should be transparent. This is what is another thing which should lead to innovations. You need to come with innovative ideas, how best we can manage our waste. I don't know how many of you are aware. We say, wow, waste out of wealth. So much of garbage, municipalities collecting it from all our houses. And that waste can be segregated and some part can be used as gobar gas plants, some part can be used for electricity generation, some part can be converted as a manure, it can go to the agricultural fields. You know, all that ideas people are coming out. I know Chennai, one of your problems you have is drinking water shortage during the peak summers. Easily, can you come with some new idea, innovative idea of desalination plants? Because you have long sea coast. Easier way, can you come with new technology, better technology, at a cheaper rate we can produce potable water. Think about ideas. It's possible. You need to think about it. You need to explore it. Try various experiments and somewhere idea will click, and yes, you can succeed. You can solve the problem of the drinking water supply to Chennai city. You can think about it. This seventh one it says is demographic, social, and market change. One of the problems today we are facing is aging population. Old age is increasing, the population is increasing. Or maybe more migrants. People are migrating from one place to another place. You know, people from Bihar come here, people from Hyderabad come here, people from Chennai go to, you know, all this is happening, migratory populations. And you need to focus on more generating jobs because we have to provide them some kind of employment. At least they should be able to earn their livelihood for at least 2 times they should be able to earn, is what the idea is. And taste of consumers changing. Consumers' taste is also changing it. You can think about it. How ways and means, you know, for example, idli is one of the common dish in the South India. And this traditional idli, and that, can you think about millets made? Sorghum, millets made idli. And that's what people now become health conscious. People are made. You don't think about these things. So demographic, social, and market change is happening. So you need to accordingly look at it. The eighth one it says is rising customer expectations regarding the service required. Customers' expectations are increasing. I don't know how many of you understand marketing management. In the marketing management, a happy customer may or may not talk about products and services. Unhappy customer will talk 100 times outside about your product. Please understand this. A happy customer may or may not talk about the products and services. Unhappy customer will talk 100 times outside. So Earlier in the marketing management, we used to talk about CRM, customer relationship management. That is gone. Today we talk about customer retention and how best I can retain. To attract a new customer is 9 times expensive than to retain an existing customer. So customer retention is important. Even that is going. Today people no more CRM, we'll talk about CEM. Customer experience management. When he walks into the showroom, when he walks into the outlet, what is the experience? Is he happy? So he comes back again. Even that is going away. Today we are talking about customer expectation management. Can we reach his expectations? That's needed. Can you do some kind of innovation, market innovation, product innovation, and come in products? And so we are ready for the customer, whatever he wants it. Ninth one, it says changing economy. Economy changing. More emphasis on services. Today, people more, for example, today look at IT industry, we all talk about so much thing. Its entire thing is service industry. We are not manufacturing this. Manufacturing is coming down, more focus on service industry is happening. Services are growing more than manufacturing is happening. More of service industries can be all these, say for example, you do online marketing, online digital marketing, you know, your Zomato and all others who are serving food at your doorsteps, and your online cab booking, all that is happening. Services are growing more than manufacturing. Going to restaurant is increasing. Earlier we were eating at home, but today it's very common. Weekend parties, evening parties, all that is happening. So service, how best you serve the customers, and you come at new product, new dishes you do. And today it's possible you can remotely monitor it. I can be sitting in headquarters somewhere in Chennai or Bombay or Delhi, and I can monitor what is happening to my factory, let's say in some remote area, you know, how it is happening. That technology is available. So all that is happening today. And the 10th one, it says, is greater availability of potentially useful technologies. Today, technologies are available. Coupled with a need to exceed the competition in these technologies. You need use technology, you need to bring in technology, and you need to use robotic technologies becoming common today. Some of the restaurants in major cities started using robotic technology. Some of the hospitals started using robotic technology. Robot population is going to increase in the next 5 years. I don't know how many of you. If you look at the total world robot population, 50% is today in Japan, and slowly other countries are catching up, and you will find now robots everywhere is going to happen. There's, for example, on the traffic control, today police constable is controlling traffic, but that poor man is suffering pollution levels. You can have a robotic with sensors built in, and it can take care of controlling the traffic is possible. I'm just giving some ideas. So need to use of robots and rely on computing power. So much of computing power is already. You can compute whatever you want in just a fraction of a second. All the data is available to you to take spontaneous decisions is possible. These 10 factors, these are the 10 drivers for innovation. I'll just quickly repeat. First is financial pressures to reduce costs. Second is increased competition, shorter product life cycle, stricter regulations by the government, pressure for sustainable development, increased demand for accountability, demographic, social, and market changes, what is happening, rising consumer expectations regarding service and quality what they're looking for, and changing economy, and lastly is greater availability of potentially useful technologies. You have to bring in technology in a big way into the organizations. Very, very important. You need to focus on it. These 10 factors are driving innovation today. This is happening. What are the kind of strategies for increasing your creativity and innovation? Now that you understand the various levels of creativity, now you understand creative thinking, critical thinking, analytical ability, so many ideas we just captured in all this. You can implement some strategies that will boost your ability to innovate. You can implement some of these ideas, and you have to do a lot of hard work, my dear friends. It's not easy to get the ideas. You need to do a lot of hard work. You need to fully dedicated, committed yourself is what should happen. I'll give a simple example. Unfortunately, most often youth has made everything examination orientation. During the semester, they're not studying only during the exams, they study day and night. You may pass the exams, but you will not get the real knowledge of the subjects what you're studying. For example, all of you know PV Sindhu. She practiced every day, morning 4 hours, evening 4 hours, tournament or not tournament. tournament or no tournament. She practices every day 4 hours. Please understand this. And that is the kind of practice which is required. You need to fully dedicate yourself and work on it. Don't look at the time. It's already 4 o'clock. I need to leave. No, sorry. You need to really fully dedicate and work on it. And you will achieve things. What you're looking at, you need to focus on. Truly creative people have developed their ability to observe and use all their senses which can get done over time. All their sensory organs. They are using all the observation skills. They are observing everything, what is happening, and they start thinking about how to do, what to do, when to do. My dear friends, 5 W's in 1 H is very, very important. You need to question yourself. What am I doing? Why am I doing? When am I doing? Where am I doing? Who am I? And finally, how am I doing? It's very, very important. 5 W's and 1 H you remember. Who am I? I'm a student today. A student has to be hungry for knowledge, ever hungry for knowledge. Don't be just happy what is taught in the classrooms. Don't just be happy just passing the exams. Try to read more and more, learn more and more. You should be ever hungry for knowledge. It should happen. That's what typical quality of a student you need to look at it. And take time to sharpen the blade and take everything you need to focus on. Sharpen the skills is very, very important. So take time to sharpen the blade and take everything in your control. You need to focus on it. For example, I don't know how many of you are aware, say pencil. All of you know pencil, we use it. Pencil maker told the pencil, you can do nothing, get lost. Then pencil asked, then why did you create me at all? Pencil maker told the pencil, you can do nothing, get lost. Then pencil asked, why did you create me? The pencil maker told the pencil, if you have to be useful to the society, you have to go through a painful process of sharpening it. Only then you're useful. The idea is sharpen your skills, sharpen your knowledge. That's an area where you need to focus on. You need to be different from others, is what you need to do. So the first thing pencil maker told is, if you are to be useful to society, you have to sharpen it. The second thing he told the pencil, there's nothing great about you. What is this? The most important component in use lead graphite. If it is not, there is no use talking about it. The same way God has given us the brain power. Use that power. Enormous power is. We are not even using 2% of the brain power. So much power God has given us. We are not using it. Use it. So the first he said is sharpen. Second he said is most important lead graphite. Third he said is you should be erasable. Not only writing, you should be erasable. Then pencil asked, why did you write it? The idea is you need to learn fast, unlearn faster, relearn, because certain theories are disproved. We don't need them anymore. Learn fast, unlearn faster, relearn fastest you need to do it in the competitive world. Say, for example, computers. In the olden days, we had vacuum tubes. That's gone. That's how they were built, the computers. Then we said transistor. Then we said ICs. We said large-scale integration. So much of technological advancements have. What's the point of teaching vacuum tubes or transistors? There's dead technology. So erase it. Learn fast, my dear youth. Learn fast, unlearn faster, relearn fastest you need to. So the first he said is sharpen your skills. The second is most important, lead graphite, that is brain power. Third is unlearning. And fourth he said is wherever I ask you to write, you must write. You and I write on a paper or a notebook with a pencil. But look at that small little fellow. He goes and writes on the wall, which may be rough surface. It wrote there also. The idea is wherever you've been asked to perform, you must perform it. Don't say, I don't have this, I don't have that. If everything is given, what is so great and anybody can perform it, is what I gave the example of Maharashtrian boy who made it to IAS. For example, you know Chennai, I know that VGP group of industries. The VG Paneer Das, do you know where he started? On a highway roadside tea stall, tea serving point. And it's a group of industries today, VG Paneer Das. So think about this. So take time to sharpen the blade and take everything you need to learn. Innovation is based on knowledge. Therefore, you need to continually expand your knowledge base. What you have. You need to read a lot more things. Read. A good reader is a good leader. A good reader is a good leader. Read a lot more things. Read so many books. You have a big library. Why don't you go and read one more book on the topic which you're looking at it? Let's say you're looking at thermodynamics. There may be some textbook your faculty would have recommended. You're reading that. There may be some other, at least 10 other books on thermodynamics written by different authors. Why don't you get it? There may be some professional magazine in which articles are published, recent developments on the area of thermodynamics. Why not look at it? This is how you should be ever hungry for knowledge. You need to focus on it. So innovation based on knowledge. Therefore, you need to continually expand your knowledge base. Don't just be happy passing the exam. I got 70%, 80%. So what for me? Nothing great about it. How much hungry you are for knowledge, how much you are able to gain knowledge is one area where you read things that you don't normally read it. You need to develop the habit of reading. Reading is a must. My dear young friends, read, recite, remember, reproduce, relate, reflect, and read it to the whole world. You need to talk about how much we are reading. In reading any book, you need to have 4 sights. You need to have a sight to read the book. You need to have insight to read in between. A lot of hidden meaning is available. Are we able to look at it? Because everything will not go in black and white. You need to look at it. You need to have sight, insight. You need to have hindsight. Recall your past knowledge and experience. You can't say, sir, Newton's laws of motion, somewhere in the school they taught us. How do I remember? No, sorry, they are required. Archimedes principle, Pythagoras theorem. All these are required. Hind knowledge. So, sight, insight, hindsight, and foresight. What kind of things are come out that I should be ready for that? We don't want outdated people, outdated technologies. So you need to focus on reading a lot more things. You need to focus on read. A good reader is a good leader. You need to focus on reading a lot more things. Read things that you normally don't read. That is, the idea is make it a habit to go to library. Start reading more and more books. Start reading professional magazines, journals which are there. Whatever the area of your interest, pick up that professional magazine. Read what the articles currently appear. What are the solutions which are available? Or go to the market, observe what the kind of things which customers are asking, what kind of features they are asking, what kind of functions they are asking, what the kind of cost they are looking at it. All this has to be an ongoing process. You need to focus on. That's what is very, very important. If you really want to be an entrepreneur, and creativity-led innovation can happen. Otherwise, you're not going to do it. Your perception may limit your reasoning power. Don't have the limitations. Make it unlimited. Your perceptions will limit you. Sky is the limit for innovation. Let me tell you. Sky is the limit. Your perceptions will limit you on reasoning power again. Be careful about how you are perceiving things. Be careful about how you are perceiving things. Sometimes it happens, my mind doesn't work. So take a break. Go out, refresh yourself, breathe, come back and start looking at it, then ideas will start coming in. Because sometimes we reach saturation levels. So you need a break, take a break and just go out, refresh yourself and come back and start working on it. The ideas will come in. I'll tell you, I worked in the industry before I entered into academics. I'm basically a software professional and then came into academics. I remember somewhere in, I think 1984, 85. I was involved in developing a software for 10th class examinations, computerizing the entire process of results. And I don't know, you may not be knowing. There are almost 24 steps before examination, 24 steps after examination, post-examination, pre and post-examination. All that data has been compiled and corrected. And we need to ensure 100% accuracy. Typing errors, all this will not work. You need to take care of it. Anyway, we were involved in developing software. Somewhere we got stuck. One error we are not able to identify because the program runs into millions of lines of code. And we are a 3-member committee. 3 members of the team, we were working on it and finally stuck. Nothing is happening. Day and night we were working on it because time, results have to release and time we were working on it. And Third day, no solution. We are worried now. What happened? Then we said, come on, yeah, chalo, keep it aside and let's go on to a movie. We kept aside, we just went for a movie and we were watching the movie. It's not that we went to see the movie, we want to take a break from our routine on a transfer part, and that's the purpose of it there. There's a movie of one of the Telugu great actor Chiranjeevi. I'm sure some of you may be knowing, and it was, I think, probably second day of the release of the movie. We were there, and somewhere half the way in the movie, some idea struck to us. Then we started saying, "This is what it may be stuck in there. That's the reason we are not able to move." Yeah, this is what it is. So let's move. And we came out of theater and we told that fellow to open the gates. We want to leave, and he was looking at us as if we are fools. Chiranjeevi movie on second day, you just were living in the middle of the theater, in the middle of the show. I told him that we have not come for movie, we just came for relaxation. And we said, if you don't open the gates, we'll jump the gates and go away because we are not interested in this. And finally that fellow opened and we came back. We just looked at that part and just fixed and software started running. It happens sometimes. So be ready for these kind of things also happens. You need to be ready for that. So be careful about how you are perceiving things. In other words, if necessary, defer the judgment. Don't take decisions fast. You need to practice guided imagery. You need to have somebody as guide, somebody has to mentor, somebody has to there to guide you. You need to focus on it. It's very, very important. So practice guided imagery so you can see a concept come to life. You have some conceptual ideas to implement, to make it reality. You need to have some kind of mentor. Some senior faculty can guide, or somebody, your alumni can guide, somebody from the industry can guide, or some elders can guide. Take the help of. In all these kind of things, you need to have a mentor who supports you mentally, emotionally, psychologically, everything supports you. Because sometimes we get stuck. And to come out of that, we need somebody who can help us to come out of those things. Not that totally depend on you. No, that should not happen. Yeah, finally, when you found there's no other way, yes, then he'll be there to help us to come out of that. I don't know how many of you are aware. In Lucknow, there's an old fort. It's called Bol Bulaya. And guide will take you inside and leave you there. And it's not easy to come out of it. There's so many paths, zigzag, it's totally confusing. 90% of tourists will not be able to come out of that. It's only guide is watching from a distance. You will not know where that guide is. And finally, when you go up and say, "Arey bhai, guide, where are you? Please come." And we don't know where, how to go about it. Then he'll come and hold your hands and bring you outside. It happens. So that is the kind of stage at which you need to take the help of a mentor. Mentor is very, very important for you to think about it. So let your ideas incubate by taking a break from them. It's very, very important. That ideas, please sit in library and work on it. Laboratory and work on it. It's very, very important. Maybe first on a paper, you can have a drawing or a sketch or write up something. Then go to the lab, experiment it. First time it might come to what you are looking at, second and third time. And if necessary, take the help of your faculty who are there, or maybe take the help of the alumni who is already working in that kind of sector, and then come out of it. Because it will not happen just day one. Don't expect things to happen overnight. No, it takes time. The another thing which I'd like to say is, I was part of national hackathons twice. Once as a judge, second as a speaker, I was there. When I went as a judge, the teams have come from different parts of the country. It is a 72 hours non-stop hackathon. And I saw young boys and girls working day and night. 3 days, only in between for an hour or two, they were just relaxing, coming back to work. And that is the kind of enthusiasm which is required. That's the kind of energy levels required. That's the kind of brainstorming is required. And finally, the students came on solutions and presented. Some of the ideas were so excellent, and industry immediately caught them and took them and absorbed them with the high pay packets that happened. This is real. The second occasion, I was only a speaker to inspire these young boys and girls who are part of that, is what happened. So participate in some of those hackathons which are happening all over the country, in all major cities happening it. Be a part of that. And go and participate in leading hackathons, not local hackathons. So let your ideas incubate by taking a break from them in it further. For example, when working on a big business project, one of the best things you can do to take a break from it play guitar or flute or whatever it is and come back and work on it, because your mind also needs refreshing thoughts. So that's the reason, take a break, and whatever your hobbies is there, just go and spend some time there. Maybe play with pets, maybe go to the gardening activity, whatever is required, just go and do that and come back. Mind will refresh and start working on it. That happens very, very common. Sometimes we are deeply caught, sometimes we get stuck. All of you know the way Archimedes principle came up. He was stuck, he didn't know what to do, and he was worried what king is going to do it. Finally, because the king has given him 1 week time, and the first day is gone, second day is gone, third day is gone, and final day has come. He's worried now what's going, king is going to do it. Then his wife asks him, why you're so much worried? Go and take bath, then maybe you'll get a fresh thought process, fresh ideas. He went and landed himself in the bathtub. Then he realized his body is floating. That is how he got the idea of Archimedes. Look at his product. So that's what we say. When working on a big business ideas, even the business executives, they do that. One of the best things you can do is to take a break. Maybe play a guitar or a flute or a few minutes, or take a ride on a bike, long ride. You can go for it and come back. Your mind will freshen and come with a fresh thought process can happen. These are very, very common. So don't expect that it will work 24 hours. No, sometimes in a break, maybe just go and take a nap for half an hour and come back and work on it. Some kind of things is very, very important. It shifts the brain to another place and helps to be more innovative and creative can happen. It helps us to be more creative because the brain is now shifting, taking a break, taking refresh yourself, and new fresh mind, you're coming back and then working on it, you'll be able to easily solve it. This all very, very commonly happens. So even the same thing will happen. Sometimes we get stuck. So you can think about it. And experience as much as you can when you are working on it. Experience gives you energy, enthusiasm, and you will start experimenting. You should explore it, and efficiency will come out, and you'll be effective can happen. So experience as much as you can. Do get involved in things. I'll give an example here, and a question here. What is the difference between attention and concentration? What is the difference between attention and concentration? No. Go back to school days when you're making noise in the classroom. Teacher will shout at high pitch, attention. My dear young friends, attention is just a physical presence. Concentration and mental presence. You need to have the concentration doing the work. Are we concentrating in the classrooms? Or we are just sitting at desk because of attendance sake? Attention plus concentration, we get to distinction. What are the work you're doing? Attention plus concentration, we get to distinction. Attention minus concentration, you will be detained the place where you are. You will be detained in the same class again and again. So more important, concentrate on the work what you're doing. It's very, very important. Very, very important. You need to focus on it. So experience as much as you can. Exposure puts more ideas into your subconscious mind. You need to have exposure. That's the reason we say go out and explore things. Visit other places. Interact with people. Participate in seminars and conferences. Participate in your scientific exhibitions. All that will give you a lot of ideas can happen. So exposure puts more ideas into your subconscious mind. It'll give you some ideas can happen. When you're stuck with the problem, I have one other solution I have is just go to bed. Before you go to bed, start thinking on it. When you get in deep sleep, your mind doesn't sleep. It keeps working on. Your subconscious mind starts working. When you get up next morning, you'll find that the solution already available. Can happen. So exposure puts you more ideas into your subconscious thing. So go and visit some of the things which are required. Go and observe things is very, very important. Actively seek our new experience to broaden your experience portfolio a little bit. Actively seek out new experiences. Say, for example, as part of the academics, we go on industrial tour or education tour, excursion, whatever the name you call it. Why? We want to see live what is happening. Because some of the things we'll not be able to show in the classroom. Some things we can't afford to buy that kind of equipment in the colleges. That's the reason we are taking to industry to see really what is happening on the ground, the reality. That's the purpose for achieving. But what is happening is when students go out for the industrial tour, instead of focusing on learning from the industry what is happening on ground realities, you are focused more on fun, more on entertainment, more on selfies. No, why did we go there? That you should understand it. It's only very limited. So actively seek out new experiences, broaden your experience portfolio literally, and treat patterns as part of the problems. Treat patterns. There's so many patterns or waves are existing it. You need to look at they are part of the problems. Recognizing a new pattern is very useful. Look at what the different patterns are. I remember when we were students, one of the subjects we had is statistics. The professor used to draw a curve and he used to say, look at the beauty of this curve. And what is that beauty? By drawing the curve, you know what the kind of distribution the data is following. The mean, median, mode, you can easily correct it. And you can say it's following normal distribution, Poisson distribution, binomial distribution. All that you can easily predict and characteristics you can easily talk about. That's the reason we convert data into graphical form. That's where we say a picture is worth more than 1,000 words. Can happen. Think about it. And after that, redefine a problem completely. Redefine it. Maybe you had some half knowledge or less knowledge. Now you went out and saw something else. Redefine the problem. You need to keep on redefining it till you get clarity of thought should happen. And one of the lines I have been sharing in the past decade is, your problem is not the problem. Your problem is not the problem. The problem is something else. Are we looking at it? We are get caught. We think this is the problem. This is not the problem at all. There's something else happening. I'll give an example. For example, in the case of heart attack, cardiac arrest, one of the symptoms you get is the hand will start paining from here. You will say my hand is paining, so apply some medicine and so on. We talk about. Gradually, it starts moving upward direction, and you say no, pain is spreading here also there, here also there. Actually, it is a symptom for you are going to have a heart attack. Lack of knowledge, we don't know. We just think about it, and by the time you lost the golden hour of rushing to the hospital, saving the patient. So your problem is not the problem. The problem is somewhere else. You are searching for a problem here. The problem root cause is somewhere else. You need to look at it. That's where creative brains are required. Then only innovation can come up. When you define the real problem, you can solve it and move on. If you understand what the real problem is, you can easily solve it. Because every problem, the solution exists. I would have done some activity for this, but no, online is not possible. Most often, we are not able to define what the problem is. Sometimes we just go, doctor, there's stomach pain. What is the stomach pain? Is it the problem of liver or kidney or intestine? You need to know what exactly, where is the problem is. If you don't identify, then it's a problem for the doctor also. So you need to clearly define. When you define the real problem, you can easily solve it and move on further as possible. Most often, we don't even understand what the problem is. If you can define, yes, you can. After all, if you had correctly defined the real problem, you would have solved it long ago. If you had defined the correct problem correctly, then you would have solved on your own now. Most often, we are not able to identify what the real problem is and what the root cause of that problem is. That's really where you look at it. Because after all, you had correctly defined the real problem, you would have solved it long, because all the problems have solutions. Every problem, their solution exists. We may not be knowing. Yes, we understand it. We need expert. Look where others are looking to see what others are saying. As a person with an innovative mindset, your job, not to look at everybody is looking at it. Can you look at the other side? Not that everybody is reading, you also go and read. Can you read something else? Not that everybody is seeing that you are seeing it. Not that everybody is explaining. No, you need to be different from others. You decide. You want to be one among the others or one above the others. You decide. You have to be different from others. This is very, very important. You can't be one among the others. It's not one above the others is what we do. And that's what creativity and innovation can help you. and which can be converted, and you can be an entrepreneur, can happen. Look where others are looking at it and see where others are seeing this. Come up with ideas at the beginning of the innovation process. People come with ideas, they know, but then they stop. No, you should not stop it. You should move to the next step. That's what I think next session is on. Ideation to market. The idea, can you convert into commercial enterprise, is what you need. Come up with ideas at the beginning of the innovation process, and you're stopping there. No, that shouldn't stop. Many times we come with several ideas and start innovating. Many times we come and start innovating it. And then we come up with more ideas and never get a single idea along. When you start working on them, you'll get a lot of ideas can happen. Is what you need to focus on. And that's where you need to have a team, people who work together. I don't know how many of you have. Do you know what team stands for? Team is together, everyone achieves more. Mathematically speaking, 1 + 1 is 2. In a team performance, 1 + 1 is 11. That's the strength you derive it. And it will help you to get more and more ideas, not the single idea. You start contributing to it, it will happen. Your friend will come saying, your colleague will something, your teammate will something. All this will happen to add more and more solutions. You may come with half a dozen solutions. And then look at the problem. Which solution can give a better fit, and select the one which gives the best fit and implement it. Can happen. At some point, you turn off the idea generation part of the process and really work on the innovation and execution part in order to bring a project to life. Somewhere you have to say, yes, now this enough is enough, and let me go and implement. Because there's nothing called the best idea. There's always scope for improvement. Somewhere you have to say, yes, fine, let me now start implementing. That's very, very important. At some point, you have to turn off the idea generation and put up the process and really work on innovation and execution part in order to bring a project to real life. Is what. Don't keep on saying best. There's a limit beyond which, and somewhere, because if you start working on it, in the meantime, your company will come with a product and you'll capture the whole market and you lose the opportunity. It's very, very important. The moment you have an idea, please implement it and come to the market with that product across what you're talking about. Otherwise, don't think ideas are no one's monopoly. There are other people also working on it. If we delay it, somebody else will capture the market. So think about it. So let me talk about how the future is going to be there. The future is going to be totally dramatically changing. It's a fast changing world, let me tell you. There's so many innovations are taking place. I don't know how many of you are aware. During the pandemic, we all have gone through it. There's so many new innovations have come to handle this pandemic situation. One simple example I tell you to make it easy to understand. Hand wash, there's nothing new. We were using it even before pandemic. What the innovation they have done is they put that hand wash bottle in the thing, and when you press with the leg, liquid will come out. That means no need to touch with the hands. Look at it. Simple innovation. And people made business out of it. People sold those devices and made business out of it. So be ready for that. The future soon is going to totally change. A lot of developments are going to happen, a lot of changes are going to happen. Earlier, if you recall, in the political system, we look at it, we had only one party, the Congress party. Today, so many parties are coming. This is what's happening. In the future, it is not about the competition of knowledge. It is not about the competition of knowledge. My dear friends, don't ever try to compete with others. That's fundamentally wrong. Don't ever try to compete with others. Compete against yourself. You have to be a better person tomorrow than what you are today. That's what you need to be. I'll give an example for this. When we had the Olympics for the first time in the world, those days there's no records to break it. Then how do we inspire these young boys and girls? They came up with an idea. Is the tagline those days is altius, courteous, and forteous. That means in a high jump higher than what? They did not define. They said break your own records. Let's say you're able to jump 2 feet today. Can you make it 2 feet 1 inch tomorrow? 2 feet 2 inch 2 feet 3 inch? Keep on improving. In a long jump longer than what? They did not. They said break your own records. In a running race faster than what? You break. Let's say today you're able to run 4 kilometers per hour. Can you make it 4.5 kilometers tomorrow? Can you make it 5 kilometers day after tomorrow? That's why we have to keep on increasing. So always try to compete against yourself. Don't try to compete with others, because every one of us are different in this world. Look at these 5 fingers, they're different size and shape. How can I compare one with the other? No, not possible. The same way, we as individuals are also different. You may not be aware, me and my brother were twins. We may look alike, but we're in totally different direction, which we made our career, we made our life beyond different things. So even among the twins, there are differences, please understand it. So don't worry about competing with others. Never do that mistake. Compete against yourself. You need to continuously focus on improving your performance. Come with new ideas, innovative ideas, and implement it is what we look at. So it's not about the competition of knowledge. It's a competition of creativity is a competition. How much creative brains you have in the organization. That is the real competition is going to happen in the future. So it's not about the competition of knowledge, it is a competition of creativity. It is a competition of imagination. You need to imagine things. That's what the next session you have it. Imagination to impact and to create. Imagine things beyond which are not existing in the past. Think about new ideas. It is a competition of imagination you going to have. How much you have to imagine, talk about, think about it. It's not about the competition of knowledge. It's a competition about creativity, competition of imagination is what we look at it. You need to focus on it. And it's a competition of learning. My dear friends, as I said earlier, you need to be ever hungry for knowledge. Learning is a lifelong process. Today you might have learned, you got your graduation degree and so on. By tomorrow, all these concepts are outdated. Tomorrow, I mean, maybe next 1 year, next 3 years, next 5 years. What will it do? So learning is lifelong. You need to constantly update your knowledge or outdate, choice for you to decide. Technologies are changing, software are changing, new softwares are coming, new technologies coming. You need to focus constantly on updation. It's very, very important. Update or outdate, choice for you to think about. So in the future, it's not about the competition of knowledge, it's a competition of creativity, competition of imagination, competition of learning. It's a competition of independent thinking as well. Develop the thinking skills is very, very important. Thinking is very, very important. That's what NEP 2020, New Education Policy 2020 talks about is develop more thinking skills. That's the reason NEP 2020 talk about is holistic education. Let's say you're admitted to BTech Computer Science course, but somewhere your inner heart says fashion technology is my passion. You will be allowed to do 20 to 30% of courses. Yeah, majority you will do in computer science, remain 20 to 30% of courses in the area of fashion technology. This too is a good combination, let me tell you. Your entire fashion technology industry is going to be totally competitive. The animations, designs, effects, permutation, combinations, the patterns, all that we have subject called graphics animation, all that is going to be integrated into it. Your entire fashion technology industry is going to be competitive. So that is the kind of combinations you can take it and start doing that. That's going to be permitted once the NEP 2020 this year. We're going to implement it. It's implemented. You'll have that kind of freedom and flexibility to choose the courses. Additionally, what you want, depending on your passion, your hobby, your interest, you decide. So finally, I'll just repeat this last part. In the future, it's not about the competition of knowledge. It is a competition of creativity. It is a competition of imagination. It is a competition of learning. It's a competition of independent thinking. Develop the thinking skills. No more rote learning. No more just by heart and repeat examples. Start developing the habit of questioning it. Why, where, when, what? These kind of questions you must raise it. Then you will get the answers. If not today, tomorrow you'll get it. If not, no answers. Develop the habit of questioning it. Question. I have a small question before I hand the session back to the organizers. The question is, on Independence Day, we do flag hoisting. Even on the Republic Day, we are doing flag hoisting. Why we are doing flag hoisting twice? On Independence Day, we do flag hoisting, and also Republic Day, we are doing flag hoisting. Why twice? I want people to respond now. All these questions which I was asking, nobody responded. At least this question people should respond. You can unmute your mic and give me the answer. Organize, allow the participants to unmute their mics.
Yes, sir.
Audience.
Yes, sir.
Yes, one of you give me the answer. On Independence Day, Republic Day, both occasions were hoisting the flag. Why twice?
To honor our nation.
Which one? On Independence? Why twice?
On both, sir.
What is the logic?
Because on Independence Day, we got our independence.
Good. Okay. Then why we are doing on Republic Day? This is where you develop the habit of questioning it. This is where you develop the habit of thinking. This is where you need to develop the habit of exploring it, experiencing it. There's nothing wrong in disagreements. So you need to question it. You're not questioning. Yes. Why we are doing on Republic Day flag hosting? Don't Google it. Let me give the answer. On Independence Day flag hosting as a symbolic to say British flag will come down. Our flag will go in the air to say now we are independent. In the case of Independence Day, the flag is tied at the bottom of the pole. And the chief guest, principal, whoever it is, that person will come and start pulling the rope, and rope will go to the top, and then we open the flag. That's what we do on Independence Day. On the Republic Day, the flag is tied at the top of the pole, but not bottom of the pole. Please note this difference. On the Republic Day, the flag is tied at the top of the pole, but not bottom of the pole. That is called unfurling the flag. People doesn't know, all these small fellows who come and do flag hosting, they don't know all that. They just do flag hosting even on the Republic Day. No, sorry. There's no question. Independence Day is symbolic. We do that, saying that we got independence, so we hoist the flag. Our flag will go up in the air and start doing that. On the Republic Day, flag is already there in the air, our Indian flag. It is called unfurling the flag. Please note this and educate your students. And please don't use the word flag hosting on the Republic Day. It is, if you want tomorrow, next Republic Day, watch the Delhi parade because that's official parade. The President of India does unfurling the flag. On Independence Day, Prime Minister does the hoist the flag at the Red Fort. Please watch next year Republic Day parade at Delhi. What is happening? We need to have that clarity. It's very important. Develop the thinking skills are very, very important. Develop the habit of questioning everything. And then you can come with new ideas. So creativity will lead to innovations. If you can follow those 10 steps, what I talked about it, I repeat those 10 steps and I have a session back to the organizers. What is it putting pressure? Financial pressure to reduce cost of the products. Second is increased competition. That's another thing which is forcing us. And a shorter product life cycles. People are changing their products fast. They're not carrying the same thing you can. And stricter government regulations are increasing day by day to protect the environment, to protect people, and so on. Pressure for sustainable development, people are talking about land, air, water. Increased demand for accountability. We are all accountable, responsible to the society at large. And demographic, social, and market change is what happening. There's so much demographic change happening, social change happening. Market is changing. We should be ready to focus on it. And raising customer expectations regarding service and quality, what they're looking for. They want more and more. Do you know who is the customer? I don't know how many of you understand the Hindi. Let me tell you. Customer, jo kast se mar jayega is customer. This is what is happening. Rising customer expectations regarding service and quality. This is also putting pressure on us. And changing the economy changing, so people are putting pressure on us. And finally, greater availability of potentially useful technologies that helps us to integrate into that, and so we can produce more quantity, better quality in a shorter time, less cost. We're able to do that. These 10 factors are leading to innovations. If you have the creative brains, you can lead innovation, convert it to a product, and start manufacturing it. You can make a lot of money out of the business, what you're talking about it. With these few words, I'd like to thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity. If there are any quick questions or queries or concerns, please feel free to raise it. I'll answer it. Over to the organizers.
Yes, students can ask the questions if you have any.
If you don't have questions, I have a lot of questions. Let me tell you.
How do I know whether my idea is good or bad?
There is nothing called good or bad. Experiment it, design something, go to the market. Market will tell you, is this idea is workable or not? If not, come back and do further improvement on that. This is what happens. So there's nothing called good or bad. Or maybe you target different market. Let's say you came with an idea. That idea may not be useful in Chennai. Maybe go to some rural areas. That idea may work there. Maybe different market segment you need to get. So there's nothing called idea works or not works, best or no best known. Every idea has its market share. Yeah, next.
Sir, any tips to boost up our creativity?
Pardon?
Any tips to boost up our creativity?
You need to experiment things, actively participates in events. There's so many events are happening in the college. And also go with some ideas, go and participate in other colleges. Don't go to local colleges. Go to the college that are best in Chennai. To that college, you go and compete. In Hindi, we say, "Hame Galli ka dada nahi banna, Delhi ka dada." I want to compete at Delhi level. Why should I fight with local people? That's how you need to. Let's say you come with a new idea, go and participate in IIT Chennai. That is kind of, or go and participate in Guindy College of Engineering, or I don't know what the other colleges, degree colleges, I'm not aware, but I know only engineering side. So go to such institutions and compete. Compete with the bull directly. Don't fight with a small goat. There's no point in doing that. Next.
Any other questions, students? Otherwise, we'll wind it up. Thank you so much, sir. It was really informative and thought-provoking. I hope this would have created a spark in our students' minds. So we'll go for vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir, for sharing this valuable information with us. No duty is more urgent than returning thanks. So now I would like to call Anisha Jesslyn to deliver the vote of thanks. I consider it a great privilege to propose the vote of thanks to all who have helped us in making this session such a resounding success. First of all, I would like to propose a hearty vote of thanks to our Honorable Chief Guest, Professor M.L. Sai Kumar, for gracing today's program. Thank you, sir, for your very interesting and thought-provoking speech. I'd like to thank our Chairman, Dr. K. Vasudevan, Vice Chairman, Engineer V. Prasanna Venkatesh, and Principal Madam, Dr. Uma, for motivating us for this session. I thank the IAC members for organizing this event. Thank you so much to all the volunteers and technical staffs who assisted our endeavor. Last but not the least, I thank my peers for the kind cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you. May God bless all of you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Now students are requested to rise up for national anthem. So now I like to call upon Varalakshmi to render the national anthem.
जनहन मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलसि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे गाहे नव शुभ आशीष माहे चाहे दबशय दादा जन गण मंगल नायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे. Thank you.